of whether Spiderman is a terrorist, suicide jumper or stuntman, authorities close the roads, and ambulance, police and rescue workers are fast to arrive on the scene. By the time Alain's reached the 15th floor, a huge crowd has gathered.
Whenever I'm looking down and I'm seeing the people looking at me, this is not something very important because there is only two options, falling or reaching the top. And I always take the second one.
Although he's 330 feet up at the 21st floor, the human spider has a mammoth 67 stories to go. Unlike climbing a rock face, scaling a building is punishingly repetitive. Alain must use the same muscle groups over and over again, so as well as nerves of steel, he must have superhuman endurance.
When climbers are soloing really hard stuff, they're so focused and so concentrated that they're really, really unlikely to make a mistake. You don't look down, you don't start thinking about what the hell it is you're doing and why you're doing it, you just get on with it and do it.
What happens if I fall? I die. It doesn't really get much more extreme than that. So the limit that these people are searching for is a limit that's close to the limit of life and death. Yes, it's about as extreme as it gets.
It's taken just 53 minutes to reach the 70th floor, but the police are closing in. Just 8 floors shy of the summit, Alain avoids certain arrest by heading back down the building. The cat and mouse game continues, much to the delight of the crowd a quarter of a mile below. For them, Alain is the perfect matchstick-sized superhero.
Pretty awesome, quite an athlete, you know?
But the people who care about him most are thousands of miles away.
All of my boys, they are very similar, you know, meaning that, of course, each of them have realized that what I was doing is dangerous. Whenever I'm going for doing an ascent, most likely they are not completely sure whether I'm going to come back, even though they are not telling me anything. You know, like any other boys, they don't want me to fall, they don't want me to die. Overall, I am the father, so they need to have a father. But then, you know, I can't chase them by asking them, what do you think? Are you happy because your papa is climbing? I can't do that.
Comment c'est d'être le fils d'Alain Lambert?
Je sais pas, c'est normal.
C'est normal, parce que c'est ton papa.
Mais oui.
Comment c'est à la maison? Il est la moitié du temps, la plupart du temps, pas souvent?
Ben, il est presque tout... Il est plutôt dehors. Parce qu'il est au téléphone ou soit dedans quand il est sur le PC en train de téléphoner.
Ou à l'étranger?
Ouais, ou à l'étranger. Questions, j'aime pas. C'est des questions qui sont bêtes.
C'est des questions qui sont bêtes?
Oui, est-ce que t'as peur que ton père y tombe? C'est une question qui est bête.
Pourquoi elle est bête?
Mais oui, j'ai peur que mon père y tombe. C'est normal.
Despite the weather, And not having his epilepsy medication, Alain has completed his formidable climb in just 92 minutes. Luca will see his father again, but when is now in the hands of the Chinese authorities. After 5 days in a local prison, Alain turns up at Shanghai airport looking a little worse for wear. Prisons feature heavily on the Frenchman's travel itinerary. So much so that he's contemplating writing a book about his experiences.
Was it still worth doing the climb, Alain?
Well, the descent was okay, was cool. The only thing is, okay, finally I did it up and down, which is 88 multiplied 276 stories. And now, as you can see, the cops put me inside the flight, and I won't be allowed to come back to China for 5 years, so it's a bit tough.